Hello everybody, welcome to Career Launcher IAS. This is Praveen Chaube, and again I am here with a very important topic that is called New Education Policy 2020. So friend, this video will helpful for all the UPSC aspirant for this year and those who are preparing for 2021-2022, because recently our government announced a new education policy, and obviously this topic will help you to write a good answer in GS paper 2. As you know, education is one topic given in your GS paper 2 main examination, and in prelims examination will also a question will be from this policy. So this is a very important reform, education reform in our country. Okay, and even in your essay paper maybe some topic will be given that that talk about the keep what is about education. So we will use this education policy to write a very good essay. Okay, so this is me, Praveen Chaube. I'm going to start this session. Okay, let's focus on important points about the new education policy 2020. So first of all, this was announced last day, that on 29th July 2020. Okay, and what is the aim of this new education policy? The new policy aims to pave way for transformational reform in school and higher education system in the country. So we can say that this education policy, new education policy, will be bring a new reform in school education as well as for higher education. So we'll see some changes. Okay, what changes bring by the government for school education, and what changes government bring for a new higher education. Now changes, when we talk about the changes, the following are the changes. Basically this policy will replace 34-year-old national policy on education 1986. This point is very, very important. As I told you that in prelims maybe they will ask you a question, so they can use the instead of 1986 some other year. So focus on this will replace 34-year-old. See, it will be a year. Okay, 34-year-old national policy on education 1986. One major changes that this policy will bring. Now HRD minister means minister of HRD, that will be changed to education minister. Now HRD minister will be known by a name called new minister called education minister. This is the just rename. Okay, so Ministry of Education, it will be known by Ministry of Education. So this is very important change. Okay, single regulatory for all higher education institutions, single regulatory body that will make a rule regulation for all higher education institution in our country. And another change is MPhil would be discontinued. Okay, so these are the 4 important changes that we are going to talk in a more detailed manner. Okay, about the new education policy, important points. First of all, entire policy. See, entire policy is based on following foundational pillars. Okay, like we talked about our Food Security Act that talk about accessibility, affordability. Similarly here, entire new education policy is based on access. This means it should be accessible to each and every child, each and every person of our country. Equity should be there should not be a difference between male and female. Okay, that education should be provided for each and every one. Okay, quality of education, not only for the name of education, we have to provide a quality of education for from school education to higher education institution. Affordability means that you have a such amount of money you can able to access a good education. That should be a affordability. And accountability, our government, state government, local government, even guardians, teacher, everybody should be accountable to provide a new education policy, that a new rule and regulation that should be implement each and everybody. So this policy is aligned to 2030 agenda. As we all know that this is a sustainable development goal. There are 17 goals and 169 targets are there. Okay, so out of 17 goals, there is one goal is also for education. So this policy is basically will fulfill the objective of sustainable development that aim to transfer India into vibrant knowledge society and global knowledge superpower by making both school and college education more holistic, flexible, multidisciplinary, suited for 21st century needs, and aimed at bring out the unique capabilities of each student. So basic idea here is not only provide education, we have to make our children and our student such in such a that we have to develop skill, we have to skill them in such a manner that they will able to compete with the global leaders. They are able to do a more research and development in different field of science and technology. So we have to improve our entire education system, and this will again align with the sustainable development goal that ultimate target to achieve till 2030. Okay, now as these policies basically focus on two education, that is called school education, and other one is called your higher education. So let's see first what is school education all about, what are the new changes will be bring by this policy in school education. First one, they are talking about universalization of education. Okay, education for all. We are saying that education for all. Our fundamental right, article 21A also talk about education. Okay, DPSP also talk about education. Fundamental duties also talk about education. So we, in our constitution is given about education should be given to each and everyone. So universalization of education from preschool to secondary level with 100% gross enrollment ratio in school education by 2030. This is the target. Okay, this is the target that we have to achieve 100% gross enrollment ratio till 2030. Now, the most important reform in education that new education policy will bring in case of school education, that the current 10+2 system will be replaced by new system called 5+3+3+4 curricular structure corresponding to the age 3.8 3 to 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 14, and 14 to 18 years respectively. So this is the most important change, and in prelims, maybe UPSC will ask what do you understand by this term called new 5+3+3+4 curricular structure. Now let's understand this structure in detail. So as this education policy, new education policy will replace 10+2. Now it will be replaced by 5+3+3+4. Okay, this is the structure, new structure. So basically it is divided into four important criteria. First one is called your foundational year of 5 years. Okay, foundational year of 5 years. Okay, year of 5 years. Okay, that will include your total number of 5 years. Okay, so it will include your 3 year your that is called preschool. Okay, that is called preschool. And new education policy also talking about Anganwadi. Okay, so Anganwadi. So 3 year for 1 to 3 years, it will include your preschool, Anganwadi, and again for 2 years for school education. Okay, school education that include your class 1 and 2. Okay, that class 1 and class 2 education. Okay, so this is called foundational year of 5 years. The first one is called foundational year for 5 years. Okay, and this will be for the age group of your 3 to 8 years. Okay, another one is your foundational year. Then other stage is called a preparatory stage. Okay, this one is called preparatory stage. This include your 3 year of education. Okay, 3 year of education. This will include your 3 year of education like class 3, 4, and 5 class. Okay, 3, 4, 5 class. Basically, we have to provide here a type of education called that is called a primary education. So it will be based on the concept of experimental learning. Okay, experimental learning. The 3 years will be for experimental learning for the age group of 3, 4, 5. This is the class, and this is the age group that include here. Age group that include here basically 8 to 11 for 3 to 8 for first year, and 8 to 11 for second stage. Okay, another one is your, again it is called secondary stage education. Secondary education for 3 years where education will be given for the classes called 6, 7, and 8. Okay, education will be given for 6, 7, and 8. Third one is called your secondary stage. Okay, secondary stage will include your education given for your 6, 7, 8. Then a fourth one is again called secondary stage for 4 years. And this is again include, it divided in 2 phases. One is called 9th and 10th class for one stage, and 11, 12 for a second stage. So this is a 5 we can say a total number of 4 stage of education that is previously known by 10+2 format. Now it will be known by a 5+3+3 4 format. Okay, this is a very important reform bring by this new education policy. Okay, so this current one will be replaced. Third one is this will include uncovered age group of 3 to 6 years under the school curriculum. See, basically this is the first one that talk about the 5. This will include your 3 year of school education, that is called, that will include your preschool and Anganwadi. Okay, and this 3 to 6 year of student basically neglected in our country, and this is considered globally, this age group a child is considered as this is very important and crucial stage for development of mental faculties of the child. So this is a important reform that bring this group of children again in education field. Okay, another one is called the new system will have 12 year of schooling with 3 year of Anganwadi and preschooling. So this is a 12 year of schooling that will include a 3 year of Anganwadi and preschooling. Emphasis on foundational literacy and numeracy. So basic school education, we will focus on literacy, that is important for communication, and numeracy, that basic mathematical calculation. Apart from this numeracy and foundational literacy, we have to also focus on vocational education, and that will be start from class 6 with internship. So vocational education, basically that a basic livelihood where we discussed here. Okay, another important reform that bring by new education policy is teaching up to the grade 5 in mother tongue. Okay, now new policy said that teaching up to the grade of 5 to be in mother tongue and regional language. Suppose you some school in southern India or northeastern states, so till grade 5 school will be give education for the children in their mother tongue. Basically no need to give English education or Hindi. We have to focus on mother tongue. No language will be imposed on any student. So any student who are from suppose you are from Bihar and your family shifted in northeastern state in Assam or somewhere any northeastern states. So in that case, you don't know exactly your mother tongue is Hindi or something or some other language from Bihari. Okay, and no school authority will be imposed northeastern language on you. Okay, so this is the one important. No language will be imposed on any student. Assessment reform with 360-degree holistic progress card that will be implemented from 2022-2023, tracking student progress for achieving learning outcome. So 360-degree holistic progress, this is a new assessment reform that will study the development of student in class 10th and 12th. Okay, so 360-degree holistic progress, that is, it is called a multidisciplinary approach. Okay, that is called multidisciplinary approach that include your self-assessment. Okay, that includes self-assessment, cognitive development of the student, peer assessment, and teacher assessment progress. So this is called 360-degree holistic progress card. A new and comprehensive national curriculum framework for teacher education 2020 will be formulated by the in consultation with NCERT. So NCERT will be cooperate in the construction, will be formation of national curriculum framework for teacher education. Okay, by 2020, the minimum degree qualification for teaching will be a 4-year integrated with B.Ed degree. Okay, now this will be this qualification given for the teacher who will become a teacher of school education. So they will be who will be have completed this 4-year integrated B.Ed along with the B.Ed degree. So board exam class 10 and 12 will be continued, but redesigned with holistic development as the aim. As we told about 360-degree holistic progress, so it will be ultimate aim. And for this, government is going to create a new assessment center called PARAK, that is stand for Performance Assessment Review Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development, will be set up as standard setting body. Okay, so this is all about your school education. Now this new education policy will bring about some school education. Now what they will bring about higher education purpose. Okay, higher education, when you talk about higher education, so as in school we are talking about 100% enrollment ratio. In higher education they are talking about 50%. Okay, so higher education will be raised to 50% by 2035. 3.5 crore seats to be added in higher education. So higher education like IIT, IIM. Okay, we have, if you want to do medical education, so in that case 50% gross enrollment ratio will be India want to achieve till 2035. This policy basically focus on multidisciplinary holistic undergraduate education with flexible curricula creative combination of subjects, integration of vocational education, and multiple entry and exit point with the appropriate certificate. Because now this policy now bring a very good friendly curriculum that any student, they can choose their subject according to their what they in interest of where they are interested. Okay, and it comes basically based on multidisciplinary and holistic undergraduate education purpose. So UG education can be for 3 to 4 years with multiple exit option and appropriate certification within this period. Now we know that this is a undergraduate course for 3 years, very well known. Now this will be 4 years, okay, and vocational courses to be a part of mainstream course. Everywhere, see, new education policy talking about vocational education. So vocational education will be integrated into all schools and higher education institutions in a phased manner over the next decade. School education will be given more emphasis to vocational education. Your higher education will also give more emphasis to the vocational education. By 2025, at least 50% of learners through the school and higher education system shall have exposure to vocational education, for which a clear action plan with target and timeline will be developed. So basic idea here is 2025, we have to impart education, vocational education in both school and higher education as well. Okay. Another important reform that bring under this new education policy is the academic bank of credit, a very important term. Academic bank of credit to be established to facilitate transfer of credit. Okay, what is the meaning of this? Basically, it include undergraduate education would also include multiple entry and exit point with appropriate certification. Suppose you have taken arts, okay, you are study arts, okay, and now you want to study some chemistry, you want to study some science subject, so you can able to access science education also from higher education institute. That will become a transferred and counted as a part of your final degree. So it is basically no need to do specialization only in arts. If you are want to take admission, you want to access another subject, you can easily access under academic bank of credit concept. Okay, multidisciplinary education and research university, that is called MERU, as a part for IIT IIM to be set up as a model for multidisciplinary education of global standard of the country. So MERU basically, like we have IIT IIM, that is specialized education. So this is a research university, education research university that provide a global standard module for all the undergraduate courses in our country. National Research Foundation will be created, okay, as an apex body for fostering strong research culture and building research capacity across higher education. So National Research Foundation, okay, this is the one important body that government going to create as a apex body, okay, that will be doing a research culture and building research capacity across higher education. So we are basically lack in research and development in our education system. So most important one is national research education, that will be government will be created, that will be apex body for entire research and development in our country related with the higher education institution in our country. Another body that is very important will be set up under new education policy for higher education, that is called Higher Education Commission of India. Okay, what type of body this is? It is a set up as a single overarching umbrella body for entire higher education, excluding medical and legal education. So medical education we have a different higher body, and for legal education, for law, for a different body, higher body. But apart from this, a new body that will be created, Higher Education Commission of India, that will be set up for entire engineering or technical or technological or any other courses that will become under the review of Higher Education Commission of India. Now this Higher Education Commission of India, 4 independent verticals. Now what are the? National Higher Education Regulatory Council for regulation, General Education Council for standard setting. This is all 4 body have different areas for concentration, okay, different area of the focus. Higher Education Grant Council for funding, and National Accreditation Council for accreditation, that is for provide a certificate, a quality of certificate for universities and school and colleges. Okay, so that are 4 important component of Higher Education Commission of India. So remember, this will not come under this medical education, and legal education will not come under Higher Education Commission of India. Okay, so another point is affiliation of colleges to be based out in 15 years. Next 15 years, we have to provide affiliation, whether it is affiliated to what university. Stage-wise mechanism is basically stage-wise mechanism for special circumstances to be established for granting credit autonomy for colleges. Autonomy should be given to higher education colleges, because they can take an independent decision. Okay, over a period of time, it is envisages that every college would develop into either an autonomous degree granting college or constituent college for a university. So this is a proper guideline given by new education policy, that whatever educational higher educational colleges are in our country, that should either be autonomous or that should be affiliated with some other university. So these are some changes the new education policy bring for higher education. Now for some bodies are created. Other changes that here is we have to focus, that again important for prelims point of view, that a National Education Technology Forum, autonomous body will be created to provide platform for the free exchange of idea on the use of technology to enhance learning, assessment, planning, and administration. So this new National Educational Technology Forum, okay, this will be an autonomous body that will give a rule and regulation and idea and policy idea that government required to create, how government will be channelize this technology planning for implementation of this all education, what reform bring after 10 years. Every means important rule and regulation that will be formed by the government by recommendations given by National Education Technology Forum. Okay, new education policy also focus on gender inclusion fund. Okay, gender inclusion means for a female we have to reserve such amount of the fund. For transgender we have to remove such we have to deposit such amount of fund. And special education zone, like we have a special economic zone, we have a special education zone for disadvantaged regions and group. Now new policy promote multilingualism, okay, in both school and higher education. This is again a very important changes, because of providing an English medium school, only those child who can access English medium school, those know very well English. But now it's a multilingualism, as government said that we have to promote each and every regional languages, both school and higher education. National Institute for Pali, Persian, and Prakrit, Indian Institute for Translation and Interpretation to be set up for conversion. Okay, suppose for English medium, if suppose the English book is available, how we have to convert in different languages? For that, Indian Institute for Translation and Interpretation to be set up. The center and the state will work together to increase the public investment in education sector to reach 6% GDP at early. Okay, so now we are means doing investment somewhere around 3% of means in education, both central and state government. And now new education policy said that the government, even both central government and state government should increase the public investment in education from 3% to 6% in coming years. जितना जल्दी होगी उतना जल्दी हम लोग इसमें ज्यादा रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट में एजुकेशन में इन्वेस्टमेंट कर सकें. So this is I hope you all enjoyed this video. This video basically talk about the new education policy and this important for your both prelims, main and interview purpose. Okay, thank you to everybody.